What is going on, everybody? Welcome to this special edition, very rare Friday edition of the Pre-Patch podcast. And it's a milestone. It's episode number 10. Like double digits, boys. Like
Big 10.
Crazy that it is. Seriously. We're already at episode number 10.
20 weeks.
That's freaking nutty, dude.
Crazy.
But as always, I am here with my crew, except we're down one. We're down one crew member. Mr. Enigma ended up having to take care of some family issues. So we apologize about that, but we didn't want to postpone again. And he was pretty much a trooper in saying, like, look, like,
go for it.
Yeah, go for it. We already postponed once. So we didn't want to have to do it twice.
He's with us in spirit.
Yeah,
he's here.
I'm sure you'll see him in the chat. I'm sure he will be around at some point or whatever else. But yeah, so obviously we're gonna kick it off here. Like always, I'm one of your hosts. My name is Sin. We are here with Mr. Scruffy. What's going on, buddy?
What's good? Call me Scruff. I'm your guy. What's good?
Oh my god! And obviously, Mr. Bill down. Well, not Mr. Bill. Mr. Bill. I always want to do it, bro. Like I always want to. But Billy the Squid, what's going on, Bill?
Oh, not too much. How y'all doing tonight?
Doing well, man. He's holding down the foundation of this this pyramid, upside down triangle that we've got here. He's
right. He's holding us up.
Yeah, he's the rocks. So we wanted to make sure that the man with the most beautiful hair in the Twitch world was down there holding it.
Bro, I'm just saying though, I'm catching up, Bill.
Yeah,
You're getting there. It's
I'm
really,
catching up.
really impressive.
It's
We'll have
filling
to,
out.
it looks like
we'll
a
have to
mullet.
have a headbang off sometime.
Hey, what's wrong with the mullet? You know, our friend Joe Exotic's rocking it. Maybe I should bleach blonde it. You know.
Sure, go ahead. You can use your what was it? Tiger encrusted pea. Like
Yeah,
thing.
dude, my tiger pea encrusted whatever.
Yeah,
from
from Gorgon. Yeah, go ahead. You can rock
Oh,
that.
yeah, that's what I'll bleach my hair with.
Yeah. But anyway, it's still nonetheless, we may be a member down. We may not be at full strength, but I promise you, you're still going to get a full-fledged podcast. It's going to be great. We've got a lot to talk about, from the new Twitch council to the Terraria update to Remnant, Dead by Daylight, and everything in between. PS5 stuff. So it's a jam-packed podcast. So I'm excited.
It's gonna be a good one.
I'm excited to jump into it. And again, guys and girls and everybody that's listening, whether you listen to us after the fact on our YouTube channel, you can go and join us live when we do this. We do stream our podcast live every other Thursday. Right here on Twitch. You can catch us at my channel at twitch.tv/S1N3N, or Scruffy's channel at twitch.tv Agent Scruffy, or Bill's channel at twitch.tv//Billy_the_squid. So you can catch us on all of those channels live and participate in our chat. We have chat up. We engage with chat in a way that we try to answer questions, to make sure that we are keeping participants, there, and you guys are able to interact with us. And then on top of that, we did something last segment that we're opening up to this segment, and kind of future segments of opening up questions. At the end, we're going to do a kind of a little 5-minute segment to open up a couple questions, based around what we've talked about. So, if you're in chat and you guys want to have some questions, or you have questions to ask, please, hold them, and we'll open it up at the very end, and we will read them out for the listeners on YouTube, and just to answer in general. So make sure you check out the podcast on YouTube as well. Hit that like button so we can get there.
Most channels, it's exclamation point podcast.
Yep.
Catch our YouTube there.
Yep. So awesome. Let's jump into it, guys. I think right off the bats, let's kind of talk about probably the thing that's going to take up a little bit of time here, which is one of those those Twitch moments, man. It seems like we cannot go a fucking 2 weeks without having some kind of debauchery, or Twitgate or Titgate, or whether it be whatever you want to call it. Like, something always goes down on Twitch, man. So this security council,
The
safety council, security council, safety council, whatever the fuck you want to call it. So I guess let's explain what this is first.
Before
not even try.
Before we go into it. So just to make it very clear, right? Yours truly actually applied and interviewed for this position, because this position was it wasn't under this name of safety council or whatever. It was something different. And I actually applied and
was this recently?
Yeah, this was not too long ago. And applied they were looking for, the way that it was kind of put out there was, this was not like a full-time job. This was going to be just something that you're going to do on the side, and that you can kind of get your foot in the door with Twitch, and you can work with them in a more structural way. And things like that. But it was completely different. It was not supposed to be anybody that was integrated into, like, their livelihood was Twitch. That's how it was framed.
Right. So it wasn't supposed to be streamers, pretty much.
Right. It was supposed to be people that had business acumen, people that had understood account management, dealing with large clientele, things of that nature. And fast forward now to this, right? And this launches. It's kind of a little bit of a shocker, but what this is basically a group of content creators, partners, and they say that people that are outside of the industry that have worked with like nonprofits and things of that nature. I don't know how true that is, but I know it is made up of a lot of partnered streamers and content creators.
Are there any non-partners in it that you know of?
Not that I know
all the
of.
ones that they've announced been partners?
All of the ones that I've seen are partners.
Gotcha.
So basically what it is a group, this, you know, kind of appointed group by Twitch to go in and rewrite and work on TOS rules, right? So one of the biggest things that we've all had problems with Twitch is they're just complete randomness of TOS and like enforcement of it. You know, whether
Russian roulette management,
right? Whether I show a titty and get banned for 3 days, or
show someone else's titty and get banned for
or I talk,
or grope your titties.
Yeah. So basically, this region right here is off limits to anybody, right? But
which is fine if they would enforce it that way,
right? But so we've all talked about it numerous times on this show. We don't have to dive back into it, but it goes just beyond kind of their enforcement of that. It's a lot of other things too that really kind of come into play as far as like them allowing people to sleep on stream, animal abuse. I mean, any of these kind of things, right? Like violation of copyright infringement, all of those things kind of span what this safety council is supposed to do. So they're there to enforce this and rewrite these rules. Okay, from a concept, makes sense. I got it. Like you've got this,
on paper that sounds amazing,
right?
Especially it being streamers. Honestly, I'm more fond of it being streamers on this console thing because they are the ones representing us. They also do this,
Right?
It's like a streamer, like a self-made streamer union. Almost. I hate using that term, but
I mean, it is kind of
right. So again, on paper, everything sounds great. Right.
Twitch is never on paper
until on paper, when all of a sudden one of your people that are supposed to uphold TOS agreements and things like that starts to go off the deep end. And we're not talking like just being like weird, because we're not even gonna like touch on the fact of the clip that's out there that you can go and see where there's some real weird it's just
we'll go over that.
Go past it. Just go look it up. There's petting that's involved, and so just go look it up. We'll leave it at that. But the rant that this person went on about like how essentially, I mean, it was a very it was a very sexist and very
anti,
like it pointed out like race, it pointed out gender, it pointed out calling people like anti-cis, like just all of this stuff, like for people basically saying like, okay, cool, well, your comment that initiated all of this was that you're saying that we should ban voice chat in all video games because of how toxic it is. And you're promoting that Twitch should actually ban voice chat and voice comms in their streams. So you immediately get that. And so everybody, basically Twitch in general, stands up and goes, hold on one second. Like, this person is here to uphold this, but it's like super anti, voice comms, super just anti really. And I don't know how to put this out there, but she's very anti white male. Like, that was her thing. Like, that's
how she comes off. Yeah.
Right. Like she blatantly comes out and says it. Like, people commented back in a response to this comment of being like, yo, how is this someone that is going to uphold this? Like, this seems like a maybe not a good idea. It's just like, you white male, like misogynistic asshole. It's like, who vetted this? Like, who vetted that this was a good idea? Right. And so I don't know. I mean, my take is that this is very, very dangerous, like, especially because if this is someone that is going on, and also too, like, this is your very first impression of the safety council. Like, no one's talking about what the good the safety council could do. It's now this, right? And
Yeah.
and we're not going to name the person because obviously
I
don't
hate
want
giving
to.
people publicity for doing stupid shit like this.
Right.
So
like
yeah.
it's just, I don't know, man. Like, what's your guys' take on this? Because
I'm just like, I'm kind of astounded like how she even, or this person got on this console in the first place, because I don't think this is like the first time they've, you know, kind of stirred some stuff up. I'm surprised Twitch hasn't gone back and like looked at this person even more to see what they're really about.
I'm of the mindset that maybe let me riddle a question to you guys. Do you think if so Scruff, you're saying that this might not have been the first time this person's done this kind of stuff. Do you think if they hadn't been put on the council recently that they would have went on this tangent, or do you think this is like tied into that and they're trying to like draw people from that like potential publicity from their name being put on that?
No, I think they would have done it regardless.
Gotcha.
I think it's just who they are.
Yeah, so going back and looking at this person's tweets, going back and looking at these people's you know, some of their clips or whatever else. This is not the first, second, third, fourth, fifth. This is actually a long line of her being very you know, I don't mind being opinionated. Like, I'm opinionated, you know, everybody knows that, like, the running joke is that this podcast has a sin, you know, so I'm very, very, you know, angry and opinionated, whatever else.
Yep.
The difference behind it, though, is that I'm not here, you know, stomping my feet, you know, trying to make one, I'm not on a fucking council. Like, I'm not on a council that's going to be able to ban, you know, people or whatever else. And the thing about this that does play, and this is where I bring up, like, I bring the clip up in a way that, again, not to focus on that clip, but like when I look at somebody and I look at like a job and what they're doing and whatever else, I look at how they act, how they present themselves, how are they holding themselves, you know, in the public eye. And this is a very like childlike mentality. When you watch the clip and you look at it, it very harkens back. Like, I watched it for the first time and I was like, oh, like maybe this is something of like, you know, I don't know how to put it politically, but like this is something that is like again, a childlike thing. And it wasn't. It was a very real thing, and it was almost a borderline disturbing, like to kind of watch. And when you see this person portray themselves in their videos and on their streams, like it's very childlike, and it's almost like, I don't know, is the maturity level there for this person to be on this council? Like, this is only one person, so there's a bunch of people. Like, I trust Azarian, I trust CohhCarnage.
It's an 8-person council, right?
Yes. Is it 8 or 10? Maybe 10. I'm not sure, but yes, it's a larger council. So this one person like is not obviously the weight and bearing, but I do think that you have a point there. Like, are we going to see more and more of this shit from this person because they're on the council, because they now have a voice, right?
Exactly. And that's something that Twitch should have vetted ahead of time. They need to get level-minded people that aren't going to take this and try to run with it to better themselves or to better their own agenda. This needs to be as inclusive to the entire Twitch community as possible. They need to, I don't know. It's scary having somebody, like you said, without that maturity level,
right,
in a position where they could potentially call shots and have a real impact on what everybody else is doing.
Right, because they can totally impact Twitch now, or like people at least think they can, you know, and they're making these comments and remarks saying that, you know, Twitch should get rid of voice chat and all this, which is a pretty big essential thing that all gamers use, you know, and now that's going to stir some stuff up.
And I don't even mind, like, the comment too, like, I think if it would have been left alone and just been like, oh, I made this comment, I'm anti voice chat, like, I get it. Like, there's been a lot of stuff that has come out that is been about, you know, and like, it's not come out, like, let's be honest, guys, like, I feel terrible for a female, you know, person in gaming that does go on and does openly voice chat, like, you know, because it's just there's assholes out there. And I mean, there's assholes with everything, but the amount of hate that people get that women get a lot of times, you know, from these ignorant male, you know, gamers that are just like, oh my God, you're a woman, blah, blah, blah. Like, or they start making, you know, crude comments or sexist comments. Like, there was a video I watched where someone in Valorant, which, you know, it's Valorant, it's Riot, it's League players that literally now have a
Yeah.
voice, like the saltiest community in the
Yep.
world, you know, have a voice now. Like like they team killed, and they just said really, really hateful stuff to this girl that was just literally trying to play the game and do call outs. And that was it. And she actually clutched a game, and they were just literally flaming her. So I understand the idea of saying of like, hey, look, like this needs to change. This is not acceptable behavior, right?
Right.
But and if she would have left it at that, and then like maybe responded back to things saying like, you know, hey, like, do you need to be changes in voice chat? Or even just being like, yeah, you know what, maybe not taking voice chat out is not the right thing, but just changing it would be a better way, or whatever else, or bringing awareness to how people are being said, and this kind of like behavior is not going to be tolerated on Twitch. Great. But
Yeah.
to then like flip it and this like flip the script and then go into this rant that she went on, that's where I start to question, like, are you fully there? Like, are you 100% there to, you know, to be able to handle what this responsibility is? Because you're talking about dealing with people that you're talking about dealing with people's livelihoods. You're talking about dealing with, you know, people that are going to attack you, that are going to come out and yell and scream. Like, you know, you can't just go off the handle because somebody tells you that this was a bad decision to put you on the council, or that your choice is wrong. You know what I mean? Like,
Right. And like you were saying, Britt, she's had multiple run-ins with people doing the same thing in Siege whenever we've played. We've had it on stream a few times. There's a streamer and YouTuber, Annie Munitions, that literally has like 25 plus compilations of her dealing with female toxicity. And it's not so much the fact that I think it's a female in general. I think it's just an easy target because of what gaming is. It's primarily male, and when that difference pops up, assholes are just going to run with it. It's an easy target. It's low hanging fruit. Grab it and go. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
So-
I mean, it's sad, and it's again, I just this is just another example of like, I don't know if Twitch is too big. I don't know if the people that they got running the show just don't give a shit. I don't know if like what it is. Like I don't understand it. You know, and this even goes like, I was watching Twitch Rivals and their Legends of Runeterra stuff, and I get working at home, all that kind of stuff. Like, we're all in this real different like setup, and it's not normal. But I'm looking at like camera quality, voice quality, stuff like that. Like, this is Twitch, for God's sake. Like, if you're going to have people on camera, I feel like you probably should at least, especially when it's Twitch Rivals, you probably should at least make sure the quality is there. It was like terrible. Sound quality
Really?
was shit. Video quality was shit. Like, it was just not good. And we're not talking like of the gameplay. Like, the gameplay was fine. I'm talking about like transition screens. I'm talking like having like just this like the video on somebody. I'm like, it literally looked like somebody had, on one of the cameras, looked like somebody had taken grease and wiped it across the webcam. Like, one dude's mic had so much horrible feedback, you could barely tell what the person was saying. So like, I'm just starting to wonder, like, does Twitch gotten to the point where they're so massive, they're just like, bah, fuck it, we don't care. Like,
Yeah, I didn't see that. That's crazy.
yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I just, maybe we can, maybe this can be corrected. And I do think, like, I know Co Carnage, and I've actually talked to Co Carnage before. I know Zazarian really closely from my work, and I've talked to him, you know, a lot. I'm wondering what their take is on this. Like, I really have to believe that, like, this is one of those situations where they go to Twitch and go, A, get her off, like, she needs to go, or B, there needs to be a very strict policy on what can be said. Because the issue here is that, again, you're putting people that do this for a living, Co Carnage, right? Or whatever else. They have their own opinions. They have their own stuff. It is made very clear, like, when I go live, like, I told my company, I was like, look, like, I stream on Twitch. I stream from this time to this time. When I stream, this is my own thing. I make sure to try to distance myself and make sure it's not known what company I necessarily work for or anything like that. But at the same time, like, are you guys okay with my type of content? And I show them my content prior to getting hired, right? So you have to be careful. Like, that is a thing where, like, this person should not just be able to go and rant and rave or whatever else. And if they are, then it needs to be very much monitored of, like, look, if you do that, you're going to get kicked off the council. Like, it just is what it is. Like, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah. I wonder where the line is for Twitch, you know? Like, is there gonna be a line?
I mean, this is like, I almost wonder. It's almost like being like, we're gonna let Alinity do this. Like, give it to Alinity. We'll let her be the one that's gonna decide. All these people that get banned, yeah, let them decide who gets how it goes. Like,
Yeah.
oh my god, man. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, do you guys have any other points on this? I'm really interested to see where this is gonna go and what how this is gonna pan out.
If Twitch is smart, I could see either them tightening a grip on this particular individual and maybe like the whole program in general, or this person being removed. I don't think they'll remove the person. I honestly don't, but I do think that this is unacceptable behavior from somebody that's supposed to be representing the company, and Twitch should act accordingly in that. And if this person is not willing to comply with that, then
and the funny thing is, man, literally 5 minutes. 5 minutes. And when I mean 5 minutes, it was 5 minutes from the announcement to the time that this happened. 5 minutes, guys. Like, Twitch made the announcement.
Which is another reason I think it was a publicity stunt. I think that they knew that as soon as their name popped up in this thing, people were going to come and check them out, and they wanted to make a statement for themselves.
No, yeah, I believe that too. But
and people are saying it's the same thing with these girls going on and berating their chat for not subbing or donating or anything like that. It's toxicity gets you rotations on social media, which gets you more views, which ups your numbers.
Yeah,
it's a vicious cycle, man.
It's a thing. It's there.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know if this. I don't know if this is. You're saying that Twitch knew this was going to be a publicity stunt, or you're saying that the content creator
used their name being brought up on like the Twitch social medias, because they, like you said, it was 5 minutes after the announcement. They knew as soon as people saw that name, they're going to be like, I don't know who the fuck this is that's going to be supporting me. I'm going to go check them out.
Yeah. Well, the other thing too that is kind of shocking with this is, if you look at like again, CohhCarnage, Zarian, whatever, like these other streamers that are on here and these other content creators that are on there, it's this, and then there's this wide berth of like just nothingness, and then this person. So it's real weird to me to be like, I feel like if you're gonna have people that are gonna do it, like that are going to be doing this job, this person down here who does not have the clout and does not have the experience of CohhCarnage, all of a sudden is now on the same council with them. Like, yes, you're going to do something that's going to boost your numbers and get your fame out. You know what I mean?
Which is another reason I think they didn't add any non-partnered streamers to this, because they didn't want that to be a factor. They wanted people that are happy with where they're at.
Yeah, because it's clearly dangerous to put someone on there that might make some dumbass comment. I'm just waiting because Keemstar's gonna fucking flame this. Like, it's coming.
It's crazy that every time Twitch seems like it's like actually gonna make a decent move for something, their credibility is just going down, down, and down. Which this one, I can't say that it's their fault specifically. They probably should have vetted this person a little bit better if this isn't the first time a tangent like this has happened. But
I absolutely can blame Twitch for this. Somebody should have. It took me all of maybe 30 minutes to be able to look through this person's account and be like, there ain't no way. Like, how did they make it on the Twitch council? Like, nothing. It wasn't like this shit was being hid. It's not like this was like I came in a suit and tie, and as soon as I got hired, like underneath was, because
it's an inclusivity check mark.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, I don't know. I don't. It's just crazy to me to be like, why is it that I can do the research on it and figure this person out within half an hour, but someone that had an interview or whatever else got the was like, yeah, that makes sense. Like, I don't know.
Or maybe this is some like sick kind of reformation program that they were trying to do with this person. Like, we're gonna bring you in, we're gonna get you back on the right path with stuff, and you're gonna be under our wing. Twitch is gonna teach you the way of things, and then they just flew off the handle with what they usually do. I don't know. I
think it was just laziness.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, I don't know. It's Okay, well, I mean,
Right, Twitch shows it time and time again.
yeah, dude. Let's just wait for 2 weeks from now, and we'll be talking about Twitch again. I'm sure that they will do
Oh,
some
yeah.
kind of weird fuck up. So yeah.
They keep this podcast interesting. Thanks, Twitch.
Yeah,
Let's
thank you.
go.
Yeah. So I'm just waiting for the time that we're gonna see the damn wrench show up in our chat and be like, "What was
Right.
that?" And be like, nothing." So, anyway, in other news, right? There's some other things that I think is not necessarily as controversial as obviously the security council, safety council, but I do think it bears to bring up in regards to whether or not what we are seeing is true, and what we're kind of being spoon fed is true. And what I'm talking about is essentially the PS5, Unreal Engine kind of announcement. So if you're don't know what we're talking about, obviously this year is going to be console war with the Xbox Series X, and then you've got the PS5 coming out. And with that always comes like demos and videos and all of these, new game footages and stuff that we will probably never ever get to see in our, whatever else, because it's going to be, it'll be fucking, what was it, Scalebound or whatever game that, Xbox swore was coming out, or it's going to be Watch Dogs. They're going to show something and it doesn't look anything fucking like it. But essentially, they showed off what they said was actual in-game gameplay footage for
Wait,
this.
of an actual game?
Yes.
Because I heard that was just a tech demo.
Nope.
Like that was it.
Nope. They are. So, well, that's the thing, is that when they showed it, nobody said anything.
Right.
It was Unreal Engine 5, Epic being like, this is the Unreal Engine 5 or new Unreal Engine, and it looks great. And everyone was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. And then all of a sudden it was like, this gameplay. And we're like, I don't know if you've watched the video. I don't know what fucking gameplay they're talking about. I've watched all of it. I've scoured the internet to see what it is. Everything to me looks like a fucking, like, just a regular, like, cutscene kind of cinematic, to where, yeah, like, it's scripted, right? It's a scripted thing. And what a lot of people don't understand, and maybe some people don't get, is that inside of, when you're developing a game, in-game cinematics and gameplay are two completely separate things. They are not the same category. They can be scripted completely different. They can be coded completely different, and they can look completely different. In-game cinematics will look absolutely gorgeous
every time.
Right. Absolutely fucking gorgeous. But it's because the game's not having to render anything. It's not having to render background, processes. It doesn't have to render AI things. It doesn't have to render all of this shit, right? It's just a movie, essentially.
Right.
So what they showed was that, like, a scripted thing. And I guess what we're talking, like, to put in perspective what it is. So think about, like, whenever you go into, like, God of War. Sony does this a lot with their games, but like God of War, whenever you're walking around and you zoom in and you come into a new area and it kind of pans up and you get to see, like, the whole area, and you get to see, like, this new zone, whatever else, that, like, cinematic of that panning, right? And that isn't technically an in-game cinematic. Yes.
Yep.
It's gameplay, quote unquote.
Not really, it's as on rails as you can.
But it's right. And the other thing about it is that you go and you cut through a. They show this image of her, like, squeezing through, like, this rock face, and I love this.
It's a loading screen.
It's a fucking loading screen, dude. They're like, it's seamless. It's a seamless world. No loading screens. It's like, no, you just hid your fucking loading screen behind a fucking animation. Like,
dude, I've been playing Final Fantasy VII Remake, and they hide every single loading screen behind a shuffle through a tight space. I've probably shuffled through tight spaces 30 times throughout the course of that game so far, and I saw that and I just facepalmed and turned it off.
Oh man, I missed that. I didn't catch that.
Yeah,
that's funny.
If you look at the video, like, she's flying and swooping around or whatever else, then she lands, and then, like, the camera pans up, and then she walks forward, and again, it's one of the motions of, like, it's supposed to look like her, like a player moving her, but really it's not. Like, it's just it's scripted, AI. Right? And then all of a sudden she, like, scoots in between, and, like, the camera, dude, from now on, anybody listening to this podcast, you'll be able to point it out every single time. It's literally this motion. They go, like, they start to move into the wall, and then the camera pans right up on top of their fucking face, and they're just like, scoot, 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 and then as
You're not
they
gonna play a game like that.
then they scoot out, and the camera pans the fuck out and like pulls out, and you're like, oh, and then it's like, okay, game, like it's
what is seen cannot be unseen.
yeah.
That's like playing GTA in that and driving in that cinematic mode. You're not gonna play a whole game like that. Like it's not gonna happen.
Yeah, it's fucking crazy. And people in chat are saying the same thing. It does, like, you can see the frame rate fucking a lot of times that when companies don't do it well, the frame rate goes it's just like it literally just chugs to like 30 frames or below. So it's like, okay. So anyway, like this whole thing is that a lot of this was like, oh, this is gameplay. Well, one, even if it's gameplay, guys, pull up shit that shows like Gears when it launched and Gears 5 and then this, right? Because we're going to use Unreal all the way across the board. So look up Gears 1, look up Gears 3, and look up Gears 5 and then this. If this is a powerhouse system, if this is supposed to be the fucking thing, if this is supposed to be what I think Scruffy said, that like these companies are being like, oh, it's gonna, who said that it's gonna fucking put PCs out of business or PCs are gonna have to catch up?
Epic. It was Epic CEO.
Of course, Epic CEO is gonna be.
Of course, right?
Like, is saying that the PlayStation 5 is gonna put, you know, the PCs are gonna have to keep up. That's a fucking joke.
Yeah, real.
But
fucking Sweeney, dude.
Yeah, you have unreal expectations of what
you know what this is? This is exactly like you remember when No Sky By came out and they kept showing the same planet over and over? Then the dude was just like, yeah, we just like this gameplay. We just like this planet because it looks really nice. No, you fucking don't. This is a scripted cinematic.
Right.
It's the same exact shit.
Yeah. No, absolutely. So it's just it's so I don't like, if that's the case and that this is going to be like the next thing that's supposed to revolutionize all of it, I'm like,
but what about the triangles, Sin?
Okay, yeah. What about
the millions and billions of triangles?
What about the triangles, Sin?
Billions of triangles, bro. I don't know, man.
Illuminati. That's all it is.
At some point, and I've said this for a while, and I think that we're here, right? At a certain point with consoles, PCs are not the same, but with consoles, it is a situation where you get to a point that graphics don't matter anymore, and it's mood, right? And we're there. We were there realistically this generation. And
yeah, I agree.
Here's the thing. That comment that Sweeney made is fucking dumb anyway, because guess what those stupid things are? They're fucking PCs. Like, they're a fucking computer. Like, Jesus Christ, how moronic can you be? Like,
congrats for finally getting SSDs though, by the way, boys. Good
yeah,
job, good job.
Yeah. Like, you're finally gonna have like decent load times. Like,
decent.
You know, I mean, it just
shorter shuffling through the hallways.
Right. Like,
right.
It just, at a certain point, it becomes a situation where it's not about the flash anymore, right? It's about what can my system do? What can this thing do? And I think, you know, Xbox may take the cake on this. I think Microsoft honestly might take it, because from what I've seen, they are not out here like boasting about their game, the way that it looks and how beautiful it is and all this other kind of stuff. They talk about the power of their system, which I understand, but they are also they're making these collaborations with Steam. Like, you know, the next Xbox is supposed to legitimately boot Steam. Like, that's, they've come out, they said it, they talked about it, we've talked about it, I've researched it. Like, it's supposed to do Steam. I mean, and if that's the case, you are breaking down the barrier of what it is to be a console player and a PC player. You are now just basically making what we thought should have been out long time ago with Steam boxes. Like, and it's smart. It's ingenious. Like, I can have, but
yeah, it's a great idea. I think the smaller that barrier is, the more that companies are going to be able to do.
Yeah.
Realistically.
Like, I just, and if you look at what the two different companies are, and I've said this for a long time, man, like, and dear God, I'm sure I will get flamed by fucking Sony fanboys, but Sony has always done this, man. Like, and it's very remnant of, it's a Japanese company. It's the way that they do things, man. It's this honor code, like, strict mentality. Like, that's why it's taken so long for them to allow for crossplay. Like, it's just the way that they do things. It's by this code, and their whole thing is like, no, like, you know, we are PlayStation, we are better, we look better, we blah, 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 blah. Well, at a certain point, you can only throw so many fucking triangles at my eyeballs. Like, I don't care. Like, it doesn't matter how pretty and shiny they are. For God's sake, I'm playing Gorgon. The game looks like shit, but I love it. Like,
exactly.
what does it matter? I don't care anymore. I just want to know how it, like, how the game works and functions and feels and whatever else. Like, like I don't know. So
That's how I was thinking seeing this tech demo. It was like if this was realistically a playable game, you know, all of it, what am I gonna need to even run it? Like, is it gonna be optimized right off the bat, or is this just gonna like run like shit on most systems unless you have like triple Titans, all this other shit and SSDs up the bumhole, all that other stuff. You know, like what am I gonna need to play a game actually that looks like this with millions and millions of triangles everywhere in my face?
is that what I need to put my SSDs in my bumhole? I've not. Maybe that's why my load times have been
game.
wrong.
Maybe I don't know.
So,
But
I mean, do you guys think this is actual gameplay? Like watching the video, do you think that what it is actual gameplay?
Define gameplay, in my opinion, yes. By the classical definition of gameplay, you are, when you think about, there's games out there that are literally walk left to right and watch what goes on.
Oh, you mean Death Stranding, right?
Whatever you want to say. All I'm saying is yes, it is gameplay. They never once said that this was like a non-scripted event. It is playable technically. You do walk, you do climb. It's all on rails, but there are plenty of games out there that are on rails, and I am not going to hate on them for saying it's gameplay. It is just as much as a cutscene or a movie, but there's other games that have profited off of that.
yeah,
Scruff, anything? Yeah, that just yeah.
No, I'm just going with it. Yeah.
Why? My thing is I think they, again, this is just a way that these buzzwords, man, like fucking buzzwords that these companies use to get people all like hyped up or whatever, because it worked. It fucking worked. People all over Twitter were like, oh, gameplay. Oh my God. Oh, gameplay. This is gameplay. It looks so good. It's gameplay. It's shiny. Yeah. Like, that's not it. The proper term, in-game footage. That's the proper term. It's in-game footage. It's not gameplay, because gameplay means that I'm playing the game. Like, that's me controlling the character. That's me doing that. Gameplay is not your fucking loading screen. Gameplay is not a scripted event or whatever else. That's not gameplay. Like,
right.
It runs different. It looks different. It feels different. It's just different. Like, it just doesn't work. Show me fucking real gameplay, actual like movement, a la CD Projekt Red and Cyberpunk. Like, and you know what I love about that? You know what I love about CD Projekt Red and what they did with Cyberpunk is they showed the shitty clipping animation of like characters ghosting through other characters, and they were like, it's not done. Doesn't it look beautiful? But this is fuck. Like, they openly addressed it. I watched the live stream where the guy was like, yeah, that character, he just walked right through that other guy. That's fucked up. That's not supposed to be like that. We're going to fix it. But this world looks great, doesn't it? And it's like, yes, that's what I'm talking about. Like, fucking acknowledge it. Just be like, yo, this is not, it's pre-rendered. Look, it's pre-rendered. But they're not going to do it. Like, they're just not. It's so fucking frustrating because it's lying, it's bullshit, or whatever else. And I mean, we all know, and it's shocking because we all know that Epic has never lied about anything, and they've always been the very upstanding and moral company. Like, can we just move past it? Like, for God's sake, get away from it. You know what I mean? Like, and I see chat's talking about Bethesda and stuff like that. Like, bro, we can't even get into it. We've every episode Bethesda makes its fucking, appearance on this. And trust me, there's a topic that me and Scruffy looked into right before the show that we could bring up Bethesda, but we're not going to do it. So I don't know. Good.
But yeah, gameplay by the loosest definition, like I said,
loose.
How much of it do you think you can actually play? We
don't even know what fucking game it is.
You're rolled in 100%.
Yeah.
It looks like a bunch of maybe a few scenes where you're walking, you're controlling the character, and then a lot of it looks like quick time events. If it was playable, realistically, it just looks like when she's jumping through the air, like press X, press triangle, press square. Or something.
You know what I'm excited about? Ghost of Tsushima.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah,
that has actually showed like legit gameplay, and it looks really good.
Yeah. I mean, I'm
like actual like open world, running into a camp, slaughtering everybody, genuine like unrailed gameplay.
Yeah. I'm interested to see, because I know the teams that do that. I know the teams that are working on that game. And this was originally supposed to be, I'm blanking on it.
Oh fuck.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh fuck. Oh fuck. But I can't remember the game. Damn it, I can't remember the name of the game that was supposed to be. I hate. I'm sorry, but I'll remember it later. But anyway, this was supposed to be a completely different game, and they turned it into what Ghost of Tsushima was. And I wonder if this team has the wherewithal behind it to be able to make something of what that's being hyped. Like, I just worry that this is going to be not necessarily on the level of No Man's Sky, because we've seen a lot more of it, but is it as open as what it says they're going to be?
Yeah, and back to, sorry to take us off of to Ghost of Tsushima, but is what they showed, it was just made to show off the Unreal Engine. It's not like an actual game in production. It's just like a scripted.
Yeah. If you believe Epic, no, this is a game that's supposed to be coming to market. But no title, no name, no nothing behind it. It was just, oh, this is in-game footage of a game that we're making. Or that's something that's being made. You gonna give us anything more than that? Like anything that we could actually go fucking, like, I don't know, vet what you're saying? No. Like, no.
Nope. So
it's the new expansion for 76. That's what it is. It's the new expansion for Fallout 76. So that's what that's gonna be. But you know who does this a lot and does it? It reminds me of the E3 fucking Ubisoft demos of Assassin's Creed, of you know, when they have like that scripted format, like when they did Assassin's Creed Syndicate and they had all 4 players and they were like, or the Division, and they're like, oh man, like this is so cool. Hey Tom, go over there and check this, go check the comms. And like, it's, you know, it's that script, it's you can hear it in your head, that scripted bullshit of like,
Ubisoft's horrible about that.
No gamer talks like this.
With Wildlands too.
Nobody talks like this. If it was us 3 in a fucking match, I'd be like, Bill, get your fucking long hairy ass over there and get me that fucking ammo. I need that. No one's gonna be like, Bill, yo, go check, do a 90-degree left turn, check the comms over here, blah blah blah. Like, get the fuck out of here, bro. Like,
guys, I'm going in radio silent.
Yeah, like who the fuck says that? So it just, I don't know. Yeah, I don't think it's true. I don't think it's real, and it's just a publicity stunt to me to sell fucking games. And on top of that, you know what else was told? Like, the next thing that came out about this was like, we're upgrading Fortnite to the new Unreal Engine. Who gives a shit? Like, can we just burn Fortnite to the ground and let it be done? Like, you know,
I thought the game was already dead. I thought it was dying.
It slowly is, but they're gonna come out and release this. Well, now what they're doing is they're like, oh, you know what? We're gonna take turbo building out. Like, that's the new thing. We're taking turbo building out.
I think they're putting a new wrapper in. Like, isn't it like every other month or something? That's gonna be a new thing. Every other month, a new wrapper.
I will say, you know, again,
their in-game events.
They are great,
that's
man.
One thing that they do really, really well, and I cannot hate on them for that.
No, it's one.
We have that in other games, dude.
Yeah,
I would tell you, like,
it's a brilliant thing that they do. I don't know how well it would work in other games. Like, I think because of the goofiness that Fortnite is, I don't know how well you could do that in other games. Maybe you could do things like, you know, in the MMO world, you know, with WoW, you could maybe do some kind of stuff with them, like, you know, and I don't know, but to me, Fortnite, because it's just it kind of goes across all barriers and it's so goofy and weird, it fits. But dude, their Travis Scott event was amazing. Their fucking Marshmallow event was amazing. Their Star Wars event was amazing.
Yeah, the Star Wars event was the one that comes to mind every time I think of it.
It really was. It's one of the things where I'm like, I'm not logging into Fortnite, but I'll tune in and watch someone do it. Like, I will go and watch my kids, you know, go in the event.
Honestly, I thought the Black Hole event was pretty cool too. Just like nuking their world and just having everybody sitting in limbo. That was fucking neat.
Yeah, their marketing team, brilliant. Like, absolute brilliant. But everything else about the game sucks. Like, I don't know. But yeah, that's the new thing. It's like, oh, Fortnite's getting Unreal Engine 5 or this new Unreal Engine. It's like, oh, okay. Oh, and it's gonna be a launch title because Fortnite's still technically in early access. Like, how that's a thing, I don't understand.
Maybe we'll finally get Save the World.
Yeah, right. So that was the other news that kind of came out. I don't think there's really been anything else newsworthy. Anything that you guys have on docket before we kind of jump into what we're playing?
Publicity stunts.
Yeah,
pretty much that's what everything is.
I don't think there's anything else. So we'll kind of move into now the segment that we spend time talking about, which is what we're playing. And this is where we really get to dive in, less ranting and more just kind of engaging discussions about new games or old games and things that we're coming back to and stuff like that. So Bill and I actually just jumped into the Remnant DLC and have been playing that. And as I think all of us played Remnant. We all enjoyed it. I don't think Scruff, you jumped into the DLC too, right?
No, I didn't pick the DLC up.
You just started playing Remnant again. So Bill, thoughts, man. What are your thoughts on the DLC?
I have not played through the new courses stuff other than what areas that I have gotten with the survival mode. The survival mode was the big draw for me, and I am actually really enjoying it. I haven't been enjoying streaming it as much as some of the other stuff that I've been streaming, but for the gameplay itself, it's a lot of fun. And I think they are taking what they have with the game. Like, they're taking the bits and pieces that they do have, and they're putting it into a formula that makes it actively engaging, which is something the main game lacked severely. There was no reason for you to use the unoptimal weapons or loadouts and stuff just because they were unoptimal, and the game was fairly unforgiving to the point where that stuff in a lot of cases wasn't viable on the harder difficulty. So This is kind of like forcing you into that, like forcing you out of that comfort realm, forcing you to use stuff. It's a roguelite.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
But it's good. It's really good. I like how they've kind of tied stuff together. So if you don't know how the survival mode works, basically it's a race between you and the game on your levels. So you level by killing things. The game levels over time. So on the hardest difficulty, every 4.5 minutes, the game's difficulty increases.
So it's kind of like that Risk of Rain aspect.
Risk of Rain's difficulty increases on the minutes. This increases every 4.5 minutes, but to a higher degree. Enemies will get more health. They will hit harder, stuff along those lines. So, and there's a number. It shows what tier difficulty you're on, and it's basically synonymous with, like, your level is equal to the game's level, and what you're trying to do is outpace the game's scaling so that you can stay viable. If you fall behind, the game's going to get hard to the point where you're not going to be able to kill things.
So it rewards you for playing fast, pretty much, right?
Not necessarily
playing
fast,
no.
because if you play too fast and you're not looking for stuff, so you start off with no armor and the repeater pistol. You have 1,000 scrap, which is the in-game's currency, and that scrap at the very beginning will allow you to buy 2 things, maybe 3.
Yeah.
So you got to really be picky and choosy on what you initially take into the first run, and then after that, you bank it. After every boss fight, you're able to spend more stuff, but in between those banks, you're just basically trying to find whatever you can. You'll find weapons, you'll find traits, which are the skill points basically for this game that'll increase what you do. Like, maybe you'll reload faster, maybe you'll heal more, maybe you'll do more crit damage and headshots, stuff like that. You're actively searching that stuff out. So it's a balance between finding that stuff and keeping your build viable, and also progressing fast enough so that you keep your level viable. It's a 2-tier aspect.
Yeah. What I've been doing with the game and what I enjoy a lot about it, and I think this is the way to play this game personally. Having played through the original and the campaign, we've talked about some flaws that the game has. We've talked about, its just ability, the replayability not being really there. To me, this fixes a lot of that, with being able to be very, very random. And what I find cool, especially from a streamer's perspective, is that when I go in, and I did this with Scruffy and I did this with some of the other viewers that were in the channel, I was like, hey, you know what? This is going to be a viewer run. And one person out of my channel gets to pick what I buy and what I equipped. And every time I pick up something, you get to tell me what I'm equipping and what I'm doing, right? So it's a way to engage your chat too, and engage your stream in a different way. But just at its base, I think it's really fun, and I love the kind of competitiveness and the always kind of keep pushing momentum, because he does it like if you play on Apocalypse mode, which I don't recommend playing on anything lower than that, because you really do. I played on some of the normal modes, and you just outpace the game way too fast, in my opinion.
Super fast.
Like
Yeah.
yeah.
Every difficulty down from the hardest one adds 30 seconds to the game level. So at the easiest difficulty, you have 6 minutes before the game actually increases in level. Plus,
Okay.
you get more experience from each kill
Yeah.
on enemies.
So you outpace it
by
very
the
quickly.
end of the first loop, you'll be like level 6 or 7, and the game will be on 30.
Right. So you'll outpace it very, very quickly. What I have an issue with this is that, and Scruffy actually watched me experience this, is that there are certain times when you'll load into a world and it just gives you complete dick. And no matter what you do, no matter, like, I loaded into Earth twice, and because of the nature of that map and that whatever else and what I had, and even just the amount of drops that it was giving me, I went into and I searched all over that map. I searched everything, and I went into the boss fight with literally a pistol that I started with and 2 skills, and that was it. Like, so I don't know if
This
maybe
is both Earth 1 and 2.
yeah. So now it's on other maps, like when I was in the Pan world, no problem. When I was in the swamp area, no problem. Earth seems to be the one where, because of also too like the vertical nature of Earth, and like you're having to crawl up that, and it's just time consuming. That I think there's a lot that it needs tweaking on that, and maybe they have tweaked it since. But there was some times where I was going in there, I was like, "Fuck me, man! Like I don't have anything. I literally have the starting repeater pistol, and I have maybe one piece of equipment, but it's not what I need to be able to beat this boss, And and that was the only time I ever had issues with it, Everything else has been, I loved it. I mean, I love the dynamic of changing shit and adding stuff and putting mods in and things like that. Like it really does make you play the game in a lot different way. Yeah.
I don't think that's a bad thing, though. Like, you don't want every run to be unviable, and you specifically don't want a specific set of maps. Like, you don't want the Earth map to be unbalanced compared to the rest. But in these style games, like, it's completely possible just by random nature that you're going to get dicked in either what loadout you do get or a lack of loadout in general. It's the same thing with Binding of Isaac back when it was still a relevant and popular game. Dead Cells really doesn't have that issue. I prop the balance team for that, but they tend to do a really good job with making sure everything is at least viable and giving you like the same amount of stuff.
Right.
It's just what they actually give you.
Yeah, I want to agree with you, but at the same time, like, I feel like the nature of the drought, like, I understand drought. I've played many a roguelikes. I love roguelikes. But the drought that this showed, right? In again, it's only happened on Earth.
It's specifically Earth. I've had the issue with Corsus before, because Corsus is also fairly vertical. You have those 2-tier like hut type things that you have to, at least on Corsus 1.
Yeah, I mean, see, when I ran, I don't know. Go ahead.
My routing with that game's a bit weird, though. I spend the first level or the first area leveling, like trying to kill everything, because there tends to be a lot of enemies on the first area, and then the second one, since it tends to be like on Earth, it's like the sewer, or on Corsus, it's the tunnels. It tends to be a lot closer quarters, and there's a lot less. It's easier to search for things. That's where I tend to start looting up for traits and
see, that's
gear
where
and stuff.
But that was also too one of the things where I feel like Earth almost shouldn't be or at least the way that they rotate that map, like maybe start you in the sewers and then rotate you out of the sewers, like, and start, because to me, when I was in the Earth and on the outside in the street area, because those guys have guns and they have weapons, right? It's and you have a pistol, right? Which I'm fine with. It was that, starting off was fine, and I was the same way, killing everything, doing everything, but like it got to a point where I literally was like, this is almost undoable. Like I need to just wipe so I can go back, because it was a situation of like, things are too far away. I'm not doing enough damage. I've got to get close. I'm trying to melee, but I don't have the melee weapon I need, or I don't have any, like it was a point of, like I said, being almost unviable. Like I almost think that maybe the rotation there is to take that map alone, because like I never had any problem with Corsus. I was able to go through those, huts and things like that quickly, because the enemies were so different. Like it was more up close and personal, right? So,
and Corsus is all about mob like swarming,
right? So it just this particularly that was just wrong. I don't know. It was just it was a rough experience, but that's the only rough experience I've had. Everything else has been literally spot on, to the point where even like I got dicked on, and I watched you play a couple times where that one boss or mini boss that warps in and like you know what I'm talking about? It's on
Oh, the warp beetle in Corsus, yeah,
Right.
where he'll jump on you, and if you don't do the quick time event, he one shots you.
Yeah, like fucking miserable timing, but I loved it. I would never felt like I was like, okay, cool, I died by a bullshit way. You know what I mean? Like it just is very, very, very enjoyable to play. And I do recommend, if you are a fan of roguelikes, like go and play this game. At least go and play this mode. It doesn't have multiplayer in this mode. I don't think multiplayer would fit.
It totally
Personally,
does.
that mode, you can do multiplayer in that? 2-player?
Survival totally has co-op.
I didn't think it
It
did.
does.
It totally does.
Oh, well then I must be mistaken. It's online co-op for survival mode?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh,
I've done it, and a few of my other buddies has done it.
Oh,
Does
then
that
I
increase like the stuff you can get with everyone? Like, is there more? loot?
No, you have to split the loot. It increases the enemy and elite amounts, but you have to split loot and traits.
But do I think elites drop like some loot, don't they? Or like
Elites drop either a heart refill or a piece of gear or trait each time.
So
you
does
do it.
that?
So
How do they do that
So that
with
kinda-
how do they do that with instance loot though? Because the game before was instance loot. Like
it's not instanced in survival. It's you have to pick and choose. You have to be like, hey,
son
I've
of a
already
bitch,
got
why didn't they
one,
put
but
that
you
in the
take-
fucking original game? Like that's the way it should have been in the original. Well,
Where
I
you
didn't.
have
Yeah,
to-
I didn't know.
where
I
you have
mean,
to fight for loot. Yeah.
well, then I stand corrected. I didn't know that was in there. Wow.
Yep, and it's actually solo's hard. It's a lot more viable to get these apocalypse runs with a co-op partner just through the revive aspect in general.
Yeah.
Revive, kiting, and all of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think too that I think the game is built really well for leaderboards. Like this mode builds it so well for a leaderboard run because I have in fact like tested this, that in fact the very first time that you load up or whatever it may be, that
Your first run through survival mode's the exact
is the
same
exact same as everybody else's, right? It's the exact identical same. So that's cool because it allows for like you know, I'm thinking of games done quick runs, I'm thinking of stuff like that. Like it allows for these leaderboard, you know, or even like if we were doing like a dual marathon, you know, dual 24-hour stream, like between myself, Bill, and Scruffy, we're able to set up a challenge, you know, or a charity event. We're able to set up like, cool, we're going to boot up and we're going to load in and we're going to run, and whoever lasts the longest wins, you know what I mean? Or something like that. Like, and you're not
I
having
thought
to,
of that as a feature. You're blowing my mind right now.
yeah, I'm just saying like that one small little thing, which sounds stupid and most people overlook, I think adds so much to it because it allows for you to be like, cool, we're all going to start at the same thing. We're all going to go through that first run or first couple levels or whatever else. After that, it's, you know, hey, RNG, roll the dice. But I mean, it sets up such a perfect, you know, way to do that. And I think that's a really cool concept behind it. And it's
That's
not,
dope.
it's not overpriced either. It's $10. Like it's a perfect price. For the
Nothing
DLC.
about Remnant has ever been overpriced. If anything, you get way more value per dollar than most games on the market right now. I think they've done themselves an injustice for charging what they have. They could have easily upped it another $5.
Yeah. Well, I think
Yeah.
their whole thing was that they were looking at, you know, how can we get the most amount of people to play it, you know, and at the cheapest point, you know, price point.
Right.
And also too, they came out with the $40 bundle or $45 bundle for the game and all the DLCs. So it really is worth a play. If you're a third person shooter fan, pick it up. If you're a roguelike fan, pick it up. If you're a loot and
If you're a
shooter,
Souls-like
pick it up.
fan.
Yeah. If you're Souls-like, pick it up. It's a really great game. Honestly, it's fun all the way around. So
Yeah. Base game, just like first time through, even a couple times through, like on different difficulties, like it's a good playthrough. It's fun.
Yeah.
Yep.
Especially with
And it'll take you probably like 3 minimum to like get everything if your rolls are good.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So that's one game that that we're playing. Bill and I have kind of dominated this conversation, so I'm going to let Scruffy take over in the Terraria conversation.
yeah, Terraria is my baby.
Yeah.
My baby.
So
And,
this is where we're going to take a 15-minute break. Me and Bill are going to go off, go do something else, and
I'll see you guys. I'll take it from here. Don't worry.
Let Scruff talk about Terraria for the next, 15, 20 minutes. So.
But yo, Terraria is dope right now though. If any of you don't know what Terraria is, if you've lived under a rock for the past like 10 years or something, Terraria is your 2D sandbox game. You know, it's got progression through fighting bosses, gathering minerals and resources, upgrading your base, getting NPCs to, house and everything. And it's I don't like to compare it. I actually hate comparing it to Minecraft, but if somebody wants to compare it to Minecraft, a lot of people do. It's kind of got that vibe, but it honestly adds a lot more than Minecraft has, because Minecraft doesn't have all these like, big bosses that hold you back through, like, say there's a pre-hard mode to a hard mode. It's a great game. And so what's coming up recently, or tomorrow actually, in fact, at like 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, is their final update, and that's gonna be Journey's End. And it's pretty much adding 1,000 new items into the game, more content, more bosses, and going back and revamping pretty much everything there is to do with Terraria and everything. It's overhauling a lot, and it's definitely a game that like you can put time into, and it's got a lot of replayability. I don't know if Sin, you said you haven't played it, have you? Or you
Yes,
have,
I played
and you don't like
Terraria.
it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Of course I don't like it. I'm sinning. I don't like anything.
Right, yeah. What is it, too kiddie for you?
No, it's got nothing to do
No?
with it.
Well, that's what you called Minecraft. Too kiddie.
No, there's just no point in Minecraft. No, there's a point. I'm gonna let you speak before I don't poke the beast yet, bro.
Right.
Like, get your stuff out before you want me to go in. Don't ring my bell yet.
I mean, you guys can comment whatever, how you feel about Terraria. Like, do you guys, what are you guys' opinions on Terraria?
I'm a fan of it. I think it adds enough RPG elements to that kind of like world building, not world building, but like base building aspect. I think comparing it to Minecraft is not accurate. I mean,
That's good.
There's mining. That's about it. But it's more of
Right.
it's an RPG. 100%. It's just it's a 2D RPG, and a really well done one at that.
Yeah.
I'm a fan.
Yeah. I'd say honestly the developers over the years have done a great job with this game. They've put out constant good updates. They've been pretty spread out, but every update adds a whole lot of content to the game. Whether like I think the last couple updates added this pretty much the end of the game. It was the Moonlord boss who pretty much ended the game in a big finale. You kill these bosses to then summon like 4 pillars across the map. Each pillar has a different trait to it, and you take out these pillars. And what you doing? And once you finally kill this Moonlord boss, boom! Like it's pretty much done with then. It's honestly dope. What about you, Sin? What are your thoughts on Terraria?
Ding ding, my bell gets rung. Yay!
Yeah, we're ringing the bell.
All right, no. So to be 100% honest, guys, I'm not coming in here to flame Terraria. Like I actually don't have a huge issue with Terraria. I think that I don't compare it to Minecraft at all, because it's not. Minecraft is more of a, to me, Minecraft's more of a tech demo kind of do what you want kind of world, and you can do a lot of crazy shit in Minecraft, which is cool. Terraria is more RPG. It's almost a looter kind of style game, or it really is a looter game in my eyes. The issue that I have with Terraria and why I don't particularly like it is it's not the 2D aspect of it. It's not even the pixel art aspect. It's something about all of it combined together that I don't like. To me, the camera, like how far out, and I know, I get it, you can fucking pull the camera in, like people have like flamed me enough to be like, oh, you're fucking just zoom in, and I'm like, I don't know, there's something about it. I've played zoomed in, I've played it unzoomed, I've tried everything under the sun, because it does look interesting. I love the idea behind it. I love the fact that it's randomly generated and you have to do all these things. I mean, it's all the things that I love about Gorgon, in a non-MMO setting.
And it doesn't look like shit.
Oh, well, we can't, I mean, bro, we can go there, bro, because it ain't all, it's pixel art. It ain't fucking glamorous. Like, it's just fucking pixel art. Guess what? It looks like how Mario looked like on the SNES. So
no, sorry. No, this pixel art is nice though. Compared to a lot of other
it's fucking pixel art
is nice.
Okay.
And what they're doing with the new update, they're shading everything. They're adding more like depth to it. It's looking really good.
Yeah, no, you're right, chat. He's poking the bear, bro. He wants to get mauled. It's okay.
Yeah.
We're gonna let it slide because it's okay. You know,
Love you, Papa Sim.
it's fuck off. It's pixel art, whatever else. It's just there's something about it. I don't know if like it's if they were to you know angle it more or whatever else. I don't know how to fix like what it is that I'm asking to make it something that is enjoyable to play. But I don't give shit across the board to what this is. The developer's amazing. They've kept it updated. It's a game that's been out for a while, and my kids are playing it. You're playing it. You know, so i.e. you probably have the mentality of a 12-year-old. I understand. Like, congrats to you, man. No, it really is. I mean, the amount of mods, like watching what you do and seeing the stuff in the world, like, I think that this update's going to bring a lot. And it's been one of those things where I'm like, you know, hey, maybe it's a time for me to go back and give it a try again, you know, and run with it. But I don't know. There's just every time I've jumped into it, it's just something about it that I'm just like, I can't. Like, I don't like the way that it controls on mouse and keyboard. I don't like the way that it controls on, you know, a gamepad. It just, I don't know. Like all of that aspect in it to me is one I can't play it. But what the game fucking is, I think is amazing. That you know they've, like I said, they've kept up with it. They've updated it. There's all this like mystery behind what it is. You can mod the shit out of it. Yeah, I mean, I think it's, you know, because if you did,
So it's enjoyable to watch for you though. Would you say that? Like, because you can't, I can't pinpoint why you don't like playing.
I don't
the
even
game.
think he can. I don't even. Think
it is hard to pinpoint. It literally is all about controls and the way that the game feels. Like it's just a feeling about that game that I'm just like I can't. It's the same reason why Enigma can't play Gorgon. He, you know, yeah, you can say the graphics are ugly. I say they're cool. You know, you can say a lot of the nostalgia facts sucks about it. I can say like, well, you know, it harkens back to a time that makes me feel like, you know, when I first played MMOs. So it's just, but there's just something there. It's just a feeling that you get to be like, I don't know. I can't enjoy it. Right. I can't get into it. And
have you played it co-op?
Yeah.
What's
yeah.
up?
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I feel like Terraria is a lot of fun to play with one or more like friends. I feel like it's a more enjoyable experience in co-op than it is solo.
Yeah, because Troy has got like honestly a class-based system. You know, you have a lot of sets of armors that each represent a different class, which like the main three would be like mage, melee, and ranger. And if you have like 1 to 3 friends and you all go like those different classes, it's a cool dynamic because there is like, you know, like taunting enemies and stuff if you're a melee class, or like you could be a tank, honestly, taunt enemies, keep them away from your mage and your ranger. It's honestly a really fun game to play with friends, I'd say.
Yeah, I mean, I've tried it. Guys, there's nothing you can tell me that's gonna get, like that's. I mean, you know, that I'm gonna say that you're wrong about. Like, I've tried it. I've done it. I've done it with co-op. I've done it single player. I've booted it up multiple times and tried to get into it.
I don't think you've ever played with me though.
No, I've never played with you, but also too, you know how I am about mods. I can't stand mods.
Yeah.
So
well, yeah, and I'd invite you in.
I think a vanilla run would be good.
Well, I would invite him into that, but we're going straight into the new game mode, which is master mode. Which, if you know expert mode, it takes the game like up a notch in difficulty. So things pretty much.
Oh, so you're saying that I can't handle difficult games?
And yeah, so like if we go to master mode with you jumping in right fresh new, you're honestly gonna get obliterated and not gonna have fun.
Oh, I don't know. It's just not my thing. It's just not my game. Yeah. More power to you. Like I'm all for Hytale. I'm fucking looking forward to Hytale. I'm
honestly looking forward to Minecraft Dungeons. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, I'm gonna play Minecraft Dungeons.
Minecraft Dungeons looks dope.
I didn't know that game was gonna be an isometric, like ARPG style game at first. I thought it was gonna be like,
yeah, it's Diablo.
Like a third person like looter shooter kind of, or not looter, but like a looter like RPG or something.
No, yeah, it's a Diablo style game. So
that's dope. Honestly.
Yeah, I mean, again, have fun with Terraria, man. You know, and to say, is it an enjoyable game to watch? Nope.
If you don't know, like, say, maybe since you don't know too much about the game, and especially watching it modded, I've got a lot of people come into my stream and be like, "What am I looking at?" Because you know, Terraria base vanilla can be kind of overwhelming a little bit, especially like in a hard mode and end game.
Yeah.
But modded adds just a whole bunch of shit. It's just
I mean,
it's crazy.
it's something that it's nice to have off in the background, like you know, or whatever else. Like for me, like I watch, you know, I'll have you up on my third monitor over here, and I'll, you know, I'll watch you, you know, kind of go through it. I may have a couple of questions or whatever else. And again, I mean, it at a higher level, it looks cool.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I mean, again, it's
Why are you
just
so against mods?
I just
I'm genuinely curious.
yeah, so it stems back from my MMO days. And to me, it's one of those things where I am very much of a purist. I don't like having something added into the game that was not meant to be there. Now, with that being said, if it's something like, you know, for instance, we play Divinity Original Sin, or have played a Divinity Original Sin 2.
Yep.
There are things in there that's like, cool, we're going to add in necromancy, or we're going to add in, you know, other different classes and things like that. I don't have a problem with that. It's where it's like, for instance, with like WoW adding Deadly Boss mod, for adding all of this shit. When you go and you pull up someone's WoW stream and it's just like, what the fuck am I looking at? Like, there's just, does not look like WoW to me. Like that kind of stuff. I'm like, this is not how the game was intended. This is not how it was developed. This is not how it was. And, you know, I prefer to be the original experience. I don't want to make the game easier to play. I don't want to make the game less difficult. I don't want to make the game where it's, you know, more convenient for me. I want it as it was intended to be done. And yeah, if the developer did a suck ass job and there's a mod that fixes the, you know, something, yeah, well, I was gonna say like ESO, like there's a mod that ESO has that makes it so like the crafting tool or something is a lot better. I don't know. I am that staunch being like, no, I don't want to install it. Like I refuse to install it.
Bethesda has an unofficial patch mod to fix bugs or anything, just because Bethesda is Bethesda.
Right. So it's just, you know, I don't know. And I've gone into so many fucking arguments with people being like, you know, well, you're dumb. And I'm like, okay, first off, like, I'm not saying that you should uninstall your mods. I'm just telling you, I'm not going to fucking install a mod. Like, I don't like mods, but holy hell, man. Like, I don't know. I mean,
what about mods that, say it's a mod that fundamentally changes, like, the game itself, that turns, like, the base assets of a game and flips it into a newer, fresh game experience. For example, there is a mod for Dark Souls 1 that takes it so that your bosses are different. They actually added cut content and bosses. It changes the routing through the world so that you have to go through different areas first that you wouldn't have before. Changes enemy layouts. It basically fundamentally changes how you play that game. Are those kinds of mods not something you're interested in either?
No,
the Daughters of Ash mod is specifically what I'm talking about.
No, so no, I don't have a problem with that, because that's kind of, to me, almost like a DLC kind of thing, or like a hidden cutting floor kind of thing. So I don't have a problem per se with doing something like that. Like I would play the regular game, beat the regular game, right? Do my in-game plus run, or you know, NG plus runs that I want to do. And then it was like, you know what, I want to spice it up. I want to do something completely different. So I'm going to install this mod and do it. That to me is more like a ROM hack. Or doing like what you would see like they do a Super Mario World and some of those runs where they create their own kind of, you know, like, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Super Mario runs and stuff like that, but they do like Dram World or Super Pooh or Grand Pooh Bear World and stuff like that. Those kind of things. That's just that to me, like, you know, so that's fine. I'm talking about things that are like permanent, like staples of being people, and mainly it's usually MMOs that people do that. It's just like, you have to have this to be fucking viable. Well, get the fuck out of here, man. Like, I'm not.
You're talking about like the like WoW PvP where it has like the big boxes and stuff for like easier casting.
Yeah.
And shit.
Stuff.
Yeah,
you know?
and I've seen it, and I guess I don't know. Does Terraria have that? Like, is Terraria those types of mods, or is it just like to add?
Well, no, I mean Terraria's got like any kind of mod you want, and there are cheap mods you can do to, you know, say give Terraria like a, in quotes, like a creative mode like Minecraft has. But you know, I tend to stay away from those. Like there's a vein miner mod that everyone recommends me use, where pretty much it just speeds up the mining process of Terraria. So you just click on an ore and it'll shoot down the entire ore vein. I don't like those kinds of mods. I use a few quality of life mods that, you know, give it a little bit more fun aspect, but not just like a total kind of cheaty aspect to the game. And then I just kind of, there's just a bunch of content mods, honestly, that add tons of new bosses, new items, new weapons, new classes, pretty much the gist. But it's got any kind of mod you could pretty much
I
ask
mean,
for.
that's the thing. Like, you know,
Content mods are fine.
right.
Yeah.
Adding content to the game, completely okay with, and that's one of the questions that came up in chat, which is adding content, you know, to games, like, and adding new things into the games, like Dust, or, you know, Wasteland Project, or Capital Wasteland Project, or anything like that. Like, yeah, I don't have a problem with that. Like, you know, because that is someone creating a whole new experience. This is saying like, oh, I need to add a bag mod because it's, you know, or I need to have this mod to be able to run this. And if you're not running this mod, then you're fucking dumb. Like, that's not what I'm about. I'm just not about it.
Right. So, I mean, you would say you'd stay away from like quality of life mods to
Yeah.
make the game a little easier.
Yeah. Like, I
Yeah.
don't do it. I mean, you know, like, I've actually toyed around with doing there's a Grim Dawn mod that actually makes it so you can play, it's a Diablo 2 style thing. So it kind of changes a lot of the games, a lot of the stuff into Diablo 2 stuff. That I'm okay with. And also too, like, I'm okay with things that are like, you know, for instance, Monster Hunter World Iceborne was completely unplayable for most people, and the mod community fixed it. I'm okay with that, right? That's fixing some shit that's like, you know, stuttering issues, horrible like graphical issues that need to be fixed, shit like that. I'm fine with. That's okay. It's literally just things that are quality of life to add it to it. And again, the 9 times out of 10, it's usually MMOs that have that problem.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay.
So-
That was the only question I had for you, because there's so many cool things that you can do with mods, and I felt like I wasn't saying that you were like narrow-minded boxing yourself in, but if you were like a complete anti-mod, I feel like you're losing out on like a lot of potential fun.
Yeah,
it's like with like older games that you liked and want to play fresh, like
Right.
like what I do with Dark Souls. My chat's talking about like specifically like Fallout or Bannerlord mods.
Yeah. I love modding Fallout New Vegas.
Yeah, no, that kind of stuff, completely cool.
Yep.
But like, honestly, one of the big reasons why, like, we were talking about ESO earlier in the show, and we were talking about myself and Scruffy were talking about ESO. Again, you know, possibly going back to it, except fuck Bethesda and their payment model. But in any case, a lot of my big hesitation there is because it's like, if you don't play with these mods, you will not get grouped. Like, you will not get, you know, you're kind of like looked at as being like, oh my God, like, what are you doing? You know what I mean? And that's not fun. Like, I don't want to do that. You know what I mean? Like, I will not play that game for it, you know? And even WildStar, like a game that I was dying the wool. I've so many times, if you know me, I love WildStar. I refuse to mod it. Like, I refused to mod that game in any way, shape, or form. If the developer released it, that's how it's supposed to be, especially in MMOs. That's how I'm going to play it. I don't give a fuck what anybody else tells me. So,
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yep.
Elite, like they're saying, elitism is shitty regardless of whether it is unoptimal or not. Let people play the way they want to play and fuck off with all that stuff.
Yeah, if that's how they enjoy it, and that's how they enjoy it.
And I'm also kind of with the mindset where I don't think multiplayer games or any kind of competitive style game should be able to be modded in those kinds of ways. I feel like putting your curve around mods like being necessary to be at the top tier of a curve is shitty, and that's poor game design in general.
Yep. Yeah. Well, maybe a lot of that too comes from my like playing and growing up, or not growing up, but playing a lot of competitive games like Modern Warfare, the original one, and getting in and having modded lobbies. Like, that just fucking blows, dude. That's not fun. Like, how many we've all been in games where we've had modders that did shit, and it's just like, get the fuck out of here, man. Like, you know, this is wall hacks, and
they're almost kind of reminiscent of like hacks, honestly, like in competitive like multiplayer games.
Yeah. So, cool. Well, the other game that I've been playing that you know, I just kind of recently refound my love for is Dead by Daylight. We're being visited. Hi. Yeah, I'm doing the podcast. Yeah. Hi, everybody. So you guys are listening. My wife decided just to randomly walk into our room. So
Hello, Mrs. Sin.
Everyone's saying hello. You got to say hi now. You're on the show. I mean, we stopped the show to say so you can say hi.
Guest star.
Are you going to say hi so they can hear you?
Oh my God.
You're right. I'm in the middle of streaming to a bunch of people, and this is going to be on YouTube later. So
Hey,
you interrupted our show. Say it. Go ahead.
I said hey y'all.
She said, "Hey y'all."
Hey y'all.
Right, my bad.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
I need an on-air freaking thing. Anyway, was Dead by Daylight. Man, dude. Like in all of its fucking glitchy ass weirdness, that game is so much fucking fun to play. Like,
Are you playing mainly killer or survivor?
yeah,
Are you mixing it
yeah.
up?
No, I'm. So before I've put in
I
quite a
know
bit.
you were a survivor main.
Yeah,
hardcore last
so
time you were in.
so much survivor main. Could not stand the killer. Did not like playing killer at all. Did not think it was fun. Loved playing survivor until I got into higher ranks and like it was just salty ass people, and so I was like, fuck it, and whatever. And to a point, like this is one of those games. Even like Dead Cells, like I just reinstalled Dead Cells, but I bought every single content that Dead Cells sent out, even if I didn't have the game installed. Same thing with Dead by Daylight. Absolutely, I would buy every single piece of content that came out, even without the game being installed, because I love that game so much and supported what behavior. Like it's a phenomenal. I think it's really cool. But now I'm a killer main, which is really weird because I'm just like, I like playing killer. I don't know what it is. I don't know what happened. I just enjoy playing killer like a lot. And I think from a streamer perspective, I think playing as both has so many cool moments. Like, we're playing killer and like landing some of these crazy shots with like Deathslinger or playing the Demigorgon, or even chat. Like, I'll be like, chat, cool. What killer do you want me to play? Right. Cause now I'm not taking this competitive, super like, oh my God, I cannot believe I depipped or I, didn't kill everybody, blah, 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 blah. Like, I'm just like, whatever. Like somebody yesterday would challenge me to do like a hatchet only run with Huntress. Right. And it was cool. It was just, I don't know, man. What if for anybody that doesn't know what Dead by Daylight is, I guess I need to explain it, right? It is a 5-player asymmetrical multiplayer game where one person is a killer and there are 4 survivors. The objective of the killer is to kill and basically murder the survivors. You have to hook them at least 3 times for them to permanently die, or you have to down them all to where they can't get up. That's kind of frowned upon. It's called slugging if you're a killer, where you just down everybody and you don't hook anybody.
It's a little scummy.
Yeah. There's some times where like I'm not downing everybody, but like playing smart, like setting up strategies, and that's kind of what I've been doing now. But there's time and places for slugging. It just is kind of really frowned upon if that's all you do. But the objective of the survivors is to unlock these generators. You have to unlock 5 generators to give power to 2 doors, which you have to unlock one of the doors to get out. And there's ways that like it's basically a big ass hide and go seek game. It's third person if you are a survivor, first person if you're a killer. Yeah, I don't know. I want to hear your guys' opinions on it, especially because I know that Bill plays the game or has played it.
I was a killer main back in the day.
And Scruffy likes to watch the game, can't stand playing it. So, or has not played it, or has not, or whatever else. So I'd love to get kind of your thoughts on what this is and opinions on the game.
Scruff, you go first.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, I've never played the game. I've only watched it, and I get enjoyment out of watching the game. It's a game I think is enjoyable to watch, whether somebody's playing the killer or the survivor. But personally, playing the game for me, I just don't see enjoyment for myself. Because it is kind of like a competitive game, if you make it a competitive game. And myself, knowing me, I would make it a competitive game, But
have you played both Survivor? Have you tried?
I've never played the game. I've only watched it.
Okay.
Yeah, so like I could be a little, false on some of the stuff I might say, but I've watched a lot of the game. I've watched Sin play it a lot, and a lot of other people who I watch play it. It just, for me, a competitive game, it's
he wants to be able to shoot the fucking killer. He wants to be able to.
I'm not saying I want to shoot the killer, but I want to.
That's what you said yesterday.
I
need to beat the shit out of the killer.
If I'm the survivor, I want some way to fight back. That's not just shining a flashlight in the killer's eyes. Like I feel like I want some way to fight back. If I'm the killer, I don't like how slow it plays, and it would totally change the dynamic of the game. I understand, but that's why it's not for me. You know, I hate how like after every like slash, he has to wipe blood off something or like lick at the sword or something. I don't know. It's just it feels slow and kind of clunky to me as the killer. Um, though one thought I had that I thought would be really cool is if there was like a game mode where it was killer on killer on killer on killer, like a four like a killer showdown. I thought that'd be sweet, and I would be all for that. Then you know, put me against like Michael Myers, and I'm a Demogorgon.
He wants
I think that'd
Jason
be sweet.
versus
Pretty cool.
fucking Freddy,
Wouldn't
bro.
that be cool?
Freddy
I would
versus
love that.
Jason.
I would play that, but just the base game, I don't think that's for me. I'd make it competitive, and I don't see it being competitive for me.
So
just me.
here, like the perspective that I want from you, Scruff, is
Mhm.
the not necessarily why you don't like the wouldn't want to play it, but like more or less like what is the enjoyment that you get out of viewing it? Because there's actually a lot of people that now that I've started streaming it, like I've had people come in and be like, they're like, oh, I really enjoy this game. I love watching it. I don't ever want to play it.
Yeah.
So what is it about like watching the game that makes it enjoyable to watch?
I think it's those tense moments, whether you know, for like the survivor doing some crazy jukes or doing the mind games with the killers. I get enjoyment out of watching that. I'd probably get enjoyment out of playing it too. But really, I like watching that stuff. I like watching the survivor go in circles and then juke the killer going the other way, or like the killer. Like I was watching you last night playing that one like gunslinger
Gunslinger?
dude. Yeah, and he like wrecks him and like what's up, and then like I think that's a lot of fun to watch, like seeing like the pretty cool moves and like skill based stuff you got to do, or like I seen you playing the Demogorgon, and like how you set down like a trap by like a hook or something. Like you left or something, and they went to save their little buddy, and they walked in, and then like the Demogorgon popped up like hello, and and
The sound
I thought
effects
that
are
was really
great.
cool.
These sound effects, though.
Yeah, so that's kind of the enjoyment I get out of it. I don't know.
Yeah. So to me, what I think makes it the competitiveness out of it, and I didn't learn this until now coming back to it, and I don't know what it is. And Bill, again, as a killer main before, I'd kind of want to know what your opinion is too, because coming into it as a survivor main, I had that same thing of like, man, dude, I fucking feel like the killer has all of the advantages. I feel like it's so killer based, and I don't have the right tools in place to be able to really fuck with people or to win at this game, right? To be competitive. And I made it up to red rank. Like I made it up to like I think my highest rank in that was like 4 or 3 or 4, which I don't know if it's actually red. I may be wrong. But it's close to it. But anyway, it was just like, God, like I need something else. Like, and this is at the time when they had like firecrackers and you could throw down firecrackers and stun the killer and things like that. Coming back to it now though, as a killer, I'm the opposite. I'm kind of like, I feel like this, like it's almost more balanced in a way, but if you're playing against a very well coordinated group of survivors, the killer almost has not necessarily no chance, but it's fucking hard as a killer to play against like smart, well placed like survivors.
It is.
And you can
And back when I played, I felt like survivors had a pretty heavy advantage in most situations. I don't know what all they've changed with the game recently that could have changed that, but I know there was quite a few survivor perks that made things a lot more difficult. And the thing I didn't like, and the reason I stopped playing the game, is it was because it felt like as a killer you had to run the same loadout every time, and it got boring. I felt like you had to run NOED. I felt like you had to run what's that other curse that you did where
there's barbecue and chili, nurses calling.
Barbecue and chili, the one where it made the generators really hard to hit the skill shots.
Oh, that's Ruin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was NOED, Ruin, barbecue and chili, and then probably like, I don't know, the one that made you break down the barriers super fast, because that was the meta. You just smashed through barriers you didn't try to chase.
Yeah, I mean,
another thing. Well, like I was watching, and I feel like you guys can correct me. Like, if you're like going in playing like a new killer, or like you're a baby killer against like all these other survivors who have all these skills or whatever, like you're at such a disadvantage, aren't you?
No. So,
No?
no. So, and this is the experience I'm literally going into, right? Like I
Mhm.
didn't level a single killer, right? So the way that it works too is you level your killer or you level your characters, and the level's the level. They don't ever lose their perks unless
Mhm.
you prestige, and then basically you get a skin or whatever else, and then everything goes back to 0 and you have to re-level it again, right? But most people don't give a shit. Most people don't care, and they don't do that. So I'm going into it as level ones, killers, and facing people that have leveled up characters, right? And though especially during the reset, because the reset just happened on the 13th. It happens the 13th of every single month.
What's that do? Like it resets all
So
the
it
skills?
resets your rank. No, it just resets your rank.
Oh,
So
Everybody's in the same rank.
Everybody-
The matchmaking is
okay,
a little
yeah.
buggy right now.
right,
A ranked reset then.
yeah.
Okay.
So it's a rank reset, and everybody goes down. And I'm gonna hold on.
Bless you.
Bless you.
Thank you. So everybody goes back down to the same rank, and we're playing out of the same pool, right? So you will get those people that have like maxed out, perks and all those things. But even still, then I have yet to go up against someone where I'm just like, oh, I got beat because these guys were not babies, right? And we
Right.
call them babies because they're people that don't have any kind of rank. And a lot of it is because it's playing like as a killer, it's a lot about playing smart, right? Like it's a lot about knowing like,
It's all time management.
yeah, it's hooking this person over here, running away, right? Even though I know that there's somebody that's probably going to unhook them right here, I'm not going to stand around and chase this one person. I'm going to run away, go hit a Jin over here to stop the Jin coming there, and then come back and wait for and see that they're unhooking, go in, attack one, let that person fall, go attack the next person, let that person get hit or whatever. Like you can
It's
if you're
multitasking, a lot of time management, yeah.
yeah, it's a lot of like now I don't know why I did not see it as this in the Survivor. Maybe it's because you have to rely on other people, but it's so much now. Even as a killer, like I can go in and be like, they're gonna be over here. Like they're gonna be. I literally am saying in chat, I'm like they're over here, and sure enough, that's where they're at, right? And if you are smart as a survivor, it's about being able to know that that's what that person's gonna do and getting onto the other side of it, right? And being like, cool, I need to counter that. So it's a lot of this mind game play that I absolutely love. Like I love the mind game aspect of what it is.
That's the funnest aspect of the game, and on both sides of the coin.
Yeah.
I was horrible at Survivor. I wasn't able to mechanics very well with Survivor, but I enjoyed Killer, and I appreciated good survivors for the mind game. Like if I got fucked over because somebody juked me, or like I thought they went this way and they actually didn't, props to them. That's some neat shit that I wasn't ready for.
Yeah.
Mhm.
No, I mean, and that's what, like, as a survivor, I became very good at like the jukes and the like going in. And once you get to a certain tier in that game, it's more about like memeing and like being kind of dickish. As survivor, it really is. It's like getting to a point where you can be like, cool, I'm gonna stand there and fucking wave my ass in front of the killer and whatever, get hit and then run away. I mean, I don't know. It's just this really weird stuff. But like now, like on the opposite end, like I was very much of like, no, like I'm going to perfect like juking and learning how to like use my scratch marks against the killer and making them think I'm over here, but I'm actually over there and things like that. And that aspect was a lot of fun. It just sucks on a survivor level when you have people that are just, because it's so much like needing to cooperate with other people, that like if you have someone on your team that is just fucking blows, it becomes it like escalates that difficulty a lot. Like to
I
the
will
point.
say what the one problem with that game was always the matchmaking. Unless I had like multiple people I could rely on, the matchmaking is really, really unfortunate with who you can get paired up. And it might just be new people, but I felt like it was
You don't
pretty
think it's
unbalanced
balanced,
sometimes.
yeah.
Especially if you get like a hypey killer.
Yeah, I mean,
And
I haven't seen too much. Like I said, I'm kind of glad that I could take this perspective of playing it a while ago and then coming back to it and playing it now to see what they have changed and what they've added. And it's really impressive because I do think that they worked a very they spent a lot of time working on the matchmaking system, to making sure that they are kind of pairing properly. I've not gone in and felt like there like it was unbalanced or I was getting screwed over. I didn't feel like like when I outplayed somebody, I felt like I outplayed them. When I got outplayed, I felt like I got outplayed. It was never a situation of just like, oh, this person, they just suck, right?
Right.
There are some idiot survive. Like last night we were playing that game, like you saw the game where I fucking had 4 Jane, whatever her name was, Rosario's, and Romero's. I don't know what the fuck, dude. They all look the same. They're all trying to do weird shit. They all thought they were good at getting away, and they fucking blew, and like they were just hiding in like stupid places. So I'm like, okay. I felt bad. I'm like, what do you want me to do? Like, do you want me to act stupid? Because I can, like,
Right.
but yeah, it's just, it really is a phenomenal game. And at least I recommend everybody watch it. Like, because some of the experiences that you can get of just watching the game are fucking cool.
Yeah, like I said, I love watching the game. It's a lot of fun. It's a good game to watch for sure.
And Bill, your chat,
Gotcha.
your chat said that they would watch the DBD stream. So I'm just saying,
yeah.
chat.
Awesome.
I've been egging him on about doing like a duo DBD stream. I'm just saying. I know he's a killer. I mean, but
I'll figure it out.
I'll bring him under my
I-
Survivor wing.
I have a 2-tier
Hey.
question for you guys.
Yep.
Scruff, what'd you say?
I was just gonna say, if there was a killer showdown, that'd be,
Bro, get
everyone
out of
plays
here!
a
Not
killer.
getting Freddy versus Jason.
I'm
They
just
are
saying, then you all get to be a killer. It'd be sweet.
they are introducing, and I wish I would have said it yesterday because it would have been perfect timing. But I was thinking yesterday of like what the new killer is going to be, and I said in my head I was like, man, Candyman would be a fucking phenomenal killer,
That would be
and
sweet.
sure enough, Candyman is going to be the next killer.
That's
So
pretty
That's
dope.
awesome. That's one of my favorite
Um,
horror movies.
Yep.
Like for sure.
My question for you guys, and it's the same question, just a little different. Sin, what are your favorite killers right now? And Scruff, what's your favorite killers to watch?
So Scruff, I'll let you. Well, I'll answer it first, I guess.
Go for it.
So I have a real hard problem with Billy. Not Billy the Squid. I love Billy the Squid. But I have a big problem with playing Hillbilly. And what is the other person? Oh, like Ghostface. I don't understand their kit. So really everybody else I really enjoy. I'm loving Deathslinger because he is it's a first person shooter. Essentially, it turns that game into an FPS. And I really, really love that. I'm loving playing Oni. I think that he is a phenomenal killer.
I don't know who any of these guys
So
are.
Deathslinger is a cowboy that has a spear gun, and his skill is that basically he can shoot somebody and spear them and reel them in. If the chain breaks, you get a long stun, and the person gets away. If he doesn't, he reels you in, and then he can reel you in close enough to melee range. Now, the survivor can move and get behind like a tree, and it can cause the chain to essentially, if someone gets behind a tree, it can fucking make you it'll break.
So you
Whatever
gotta
else.
catch him in a fairly open area.
Yeah, but what it does set up is some, like, there are times where and Scruffy's been in there, and I've had chat where like you just land some epic fucking shots and you're just like, fuck yes. Or whatever, or they're thinking they're about to juke you out and you just land that shot and you just reel them back in. You're like, fucking get over here. Like it's great.
You're like a skinny roadhog.
Yeah, pretty much. But the Oni is a Japanese like monster samurai guy that basically harvests blood. And whenever he gets enough, he goes into a fury. And when he furies, he can dash, like Hillbilly does. And he has an insta down with his it's like demon smash or something like that. But basically, he can take somebody from a full state down to a dying state in one hit. But you have to charge up the hit and then hit. And so the animation is a little bit longer. And honestly, Demigorgon. Those are my 3 that I really enjoy. And actually, Clown. A lot of people hate Clown, think he's in a really bad position. I played with Clown yesterday and fucking loved him. So,
Clown's fun.
yeah. Yep.
Scruff, what's up?
Well, I haven't seen everyone. I've only seen like, I don't know, a select few of them, but my favorite killer for sure is probably the ding 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 person,
Oh,
the little
yeah,
the wraith person.
Wraith,
yeah.
yeah.
I think they're one of the OG ones. I like, I don't know, I like the ding ding, and then they come for you and like sping, and smack you with a thing. And I think they're a lot of fun to watch. I enjoy them a lot. Just for the fact of the dings and the dongs. Pretty much, it's always the dings and the dongs. But I've really been getting a lot of enjoyment out of that dude you mentioned with the sword that goes and slashes you, but mainly for the fact that he's a big club that he
Yeah,
like
Oni.
charges at you with. He goes poosh,
Yeah.
and he smacks you with a big club, and I'm really down with that because like you've ended a game literally smashing somebody to the ground. And I'm like, that's a way to end a game right there. Like that is sweet.
Jesus Christ,
that
man.
is something I want to see.
We need to keep the purge away from Scruffy. Homeboy is gonna fucking
smash,
murder,
smash.
bro.
Gotcha.
I'm all for those two, but like I said, I don't really know too many. So I mean, if there was another one, it'd probably just be the gunslinger guy too, like Tim was saying. And that guy sets up for a lot of cool moments, where I like you pretty much play it almost like a game of Ring Around the Rosie. Sometimes hooking people in, you're spinning one way, they're spinning another way, trying to get behind a tree, and you guys are just like playing like a ballerina, dancing together, and then you eventually get them in there and get them. Yeah.
How about you, Bill?
Hell yeah.
What are your favorite? I know it's been a minute, but what's your favorite killers?
Back in the day, my killer mains were Leatherface and Pig.
Yeah, Pig is so much fun. Pig is so much fun.
Pig was my number one, and then if I wanted to pip, I played Leatherface because nobody knew how to play against Leatherface.
Yeah, again, I don't know what it is about the chainsaw guys. I can't play Leatherface either, man. I don't get it. I don't understand.
I liked Leatherface one because his perks were good, but you can put perks on anybody. But two, it made it so that I didn't have to take the quick break.
Doesn't he go?
Because if you timed your chainsaw up with them dropping a pallet, you could like instantly break down a pallet and keep chasing.
Yeah,
cool.
Yeah. Yes, he is.
And I don't like Billy because I always felt like he was in a very unbalanced state, and he still might be. I feel like
So you don't.
His movement is
what
a
does he
little
do
bit OP.
exactly?
So
I don't know, Billy.
He runs across the map really fucking fast, and if he hits somebody, he one shots them.
Yeah. So
he can't turn very easily. His turn radius is really small, but he can like one end of the map. He's really good.
So he's like Scion in League of Legends.
Yeah.
Yeah,
basically.
kind of. Yeah.
Great train, pretty much.
But end game, whenever there's like they're on their last gen and there's only 3 gens left, if he's got them spaced out properly, it's almost impossible for a survivor to win.
Yeah. Well, so that's one thing that I did like that they did change is they added 2 mechanics to the game. That is, one is the in-game basically entity to now where before they would go like survivors would go and meme the killer by unlocking the door and then going in and running around and just causing the game to last forever because they wouldn't leave, right? So now it's where they only have a certain amount of time. Once the door is open, once it's gone and whatever else, then the timer starts going. And once whoever's left on the map for survivors get murdered, like they get killed.
What about if a hatch is open? Could they get in the hatch?
They can get in the hatch, yeah. The hatch play now happens. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I gotta go back and check, but the hatch now happens, period. Before it didn't. You had to unlock at least 2 gens. Now it opens, the hatch is there. So like it doesn't show up on the map right away, but once there's only one person, then or 2 people left, then the hatch shows, and then you can.
And Killer can
close
lock hatch now, right?
Yep. Killer can lock hatch.
Who's it show for? Both the killer and the survivor?
So there's a sound. You don't know where it's at. You have to see it on the map, and there's a sound that it makes. So it sounds like I don't know, like a
wind going through a tunnel.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Kind of. And you can go to like once it happens, the killer can go up and slam it shut, and then it opens it gives power to the doors. So now the survivor has the option of getting out that way.
Gotcha.
So it's really cool. But what I will say that like you're right. I don't like Billy.
I heard they changed nerfs and she's not as overpowered as she was before.
Yeah, I mean her blinks are in a really weird spot right now, but I still think that she's good. And those are the things too. Like to me, like watching someone that plays nurse, watching somebody that plays spirit, watching somebody that plays a really good clown, like it's inspiring to me. Watching somebody play Billy to me is like this is dumb. Like
Spirit is like where I wish Billy was, because I feel like even though I feel Spirit she's always been top tier since she's released, and I don't think that's changed any from what I'm seeing, but she actually takes a decent amount of skill to play. It feels like most of the OP killers are the high mobility ones, but I
heard
like high
Doctor's
mobility.
really OP.
So before he was, I haven't played him since. But before he was very, very, very like not in a good spot. Or he was in a very good spot because like his skill set was just all about shocking you and then shocking gens, and just it made it miserable to play against. And like it was the same way that I was with Freddy before. Like I like Freddy's rework. I think it's in a great spot. His before stuff, I fucking hated, dude. I fucking hated playing against Freddy because it was just like, I don't know. He was,
or it being like annoying or like broken.
he was
or what
broken. He was fucking permanently invisible. Like you had to like get snapped out of his shit. He could always put you to sleep. Then he could see you everywhere. Like it was just, he's all over the fucking place. Like, so now I think he's in a really good spot. He has this cool thing where like he can make it looks like pallets are there, but they're not there. Like, so you think
cool.
you think a pallet's there and you go to slam it down and Freddy's like, ha ha ha, like, fuck you, it's not there. You know, kind of
cool.
situation. So there's a lot of cool stuff. Again, man, the game has got so many cool things and they do such a good job of like really making the game feel different for every killer. Again, I do think Oni and Billy are very similar in their skill because they both have a dash. But like to me, Oni is very much controlled. Like it's a very, very controlled kind of dash. So yeah. Anyway, I think we're, you know, that's about it for me. I haven't really been playing anything else other than we've been playing League, and nobody here wants to talk about League. You know, it's League.
One thing I do want to talk about,
go ahead.
and you saying League so close to Dead by Daylight, is I remember Dead by Daylight's community is actually fucking ridiculously like good compared to a lot of online communities. There's like the toxicity levels in that game seem to be they're still there, but they seem to be a lot less common than say League or Siege or anything like that.
Every game's got their toxic players.
Yeah, but it seems like the Dead by Daylight community they're just a lot more about having fun. There's a lot less tryhards for the most part. Unless you get into the higher ranks. I never played into the higher ranks because I never really played the Pip.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I feel like the killer really holds the keys there for a lot of it.
I think survivors do. Personally, I feel like if anybody's going to be toxic, it's going to be a survivor.
Against the other survivors.
That might just be for me being a killer main in the past.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, to me, because I was a survivor main, I always felt that the killer held, like, it was, again, if the killer was a dick, if he was face camping, if he was running those, you know, if it was just like everything I'm playing is barbecue and fucking chili and all this other kind of stuff, and just, you know, he's tunneling a person, like I really feel like it's been rough. But I think that now being on the killer side, I still think that the killer kind of holds a lot of kind of how it is now. I will say that like my maybe like fourth game in, I was like, you know, being told like, you're gonna get reported. Keep in mind, this was by a team of everybody paying Bill and them doing the dumbest shit I could ever see. Like they created a human centipede, like it was fucking stupid. And then they're like, oh my God, you're playing the most broken killer, reporting you for tunneling and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, bro, you all were in the same vicinity of it. What do you want me to do? Like, do you think I'm going to knock somebody down? You're standing right beside me, that I'm not just going to go ahead and kill you too? Like, what the fuck? Anyway, whatever. But, you know, so I think as you get higher up in ranks, it definitely does get more toxic and more memey, but it's definitely not like League. Like every game of League is fucking toxic as shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
definitely.
And again, because they do one thing and one thing that I think that League, I don't know, probably should do is there's no fucking game, like there's no typing until the very, very end. Like that's the only time that I ever, like, even as a survivor, I don't get to communicate with my other survivors. So you know, minus the chat, like if you take chatting out of it until the very end of it, like you don't see it till then. So that's it.
Is there any sort of like ping system or like call out system or anything like that for survivors?
No.
Wow. So it's just like
figure it out.
Pure trust. Yeah.
Yeah. It's
out. Wow.
Yeah. Like, yeah. I mean, it's purely 100% like them saying you got to work together.
Yeah.
Right.
Nah. Last question on Dead by Daylight, and then we can wrap it up. Sin, do you drop Last Survivor at Hatch?
Oh, it depends on how the game is gone.
For me, it completely depends on how the survivors have been to me. I'm a merciful god if I win. I'm merciful if they've been chill. If they've been fucking salty, I don't give a shit.
Yeah, a lot of it depends on how they
I
definitely
also
have
try
been.
not to tunnel.
Yeah, I don't. I don't tunnel.
Tunneling is focusing one person, right?
Yes.
Yeah, focusing one person to
Okay.
eliminate a survivor.
Yeah.
That's what I
right
figured. Yeah.
at the start.
But here's what I'll tell you, right? And I try to play this fair, like even to the point that like I am the type where I will hit somebody, right? And again, for me, it's mind game. So I'm gonna hit a survivor. I know I can chase after them and go after them, no problem. But I will turn around, stop, knock my gen, and maybe go after somebody else, right? Like I try like to play it how I would think a killer would play, right? But if it comes down to like yesterday, like I had a guy that literally, man, I felt bad. Like I don't know if he was just shit at the game or whatever else, but he just kept putting himself in really bad positions. I was like, dude, you're giving me no choice. Like I have no choice but to fucking just put you on the hook. Like, so that's the only time that I ever like actually maybe tunnel somebody, but I try not to. I really don't. And
but when they're dangling themselves in your face,
yeah,
every single time.
Yeah, it's just
no
rough.
choice.
But as far as dropping somebody at the hook, or like even giving them the ability, like there's times where like I will let people drop pallets on me, like to get points for them and whatever else. It really comes down to how they treated. You know, if they're dicks, no. Like, you know, if they're sitting there and like they're memeing the shit, you know, trying to meme the shit out of me, or they're all like running around like the same person, and you know they're like purposely popping gins to fucking like make the noise go up. No, fuck you. You're not getting shit. Like I'm gonna fucking murder you and don't give a fuck what it is. So yeah.
All right.
Cool. Well, guys, I think that's it, man. I think that we have exhausted this week's show. It has been an amazing, amazing time. And we've had a blast talking about our topics and what we wanted to talk about. And thank everybody for being here. Like we mentioned at the very beginning of the show, we do open up the last couple minutes, and that's where we're at, to basically give you the chance to ask questions about either what we've talked about or something that is kind of going on in the gaming world today. We try to keep it on point, right? No weird kind of, you know, crazy questions. So like we asked in the very beginning, you know, think about some questions. So make sure, you know, as I'm kind of going through this long drawn out, sands of time, you know, tumbling down the hourglass or whatever else, put in your questions, because, you know, we want to try to make it, you know, as seamless as possible. But, yeah, you know, we'll, as we wait for questions to come in, we can kind of shout out, the YouTube link. Make sure, guys, again, !podcast, and pretty much all of our channels, you can go and find the link to the show, for anybody that wants to download it, or watch it on YouTube. Scruffy does an amazing job getting this uploaded. He is phenomenal about taking time out of the day to go do that. So
also soon, guys, we are going to be clipping segments out, and we're going to be putting like some main segments into different YouTube videos. If you want to see just like us talk about Dead by Daylight, we'll soon be clipping that stuff out individually.
Yep.
So
you'll probably see, I'm sure there will be a meme clip of me and fucking rants and sounds and
it's gonna
whatever else.
happen.
God.
Sin rants.
But you know, we are, guys, it really is important that we do need you guys to go to the YouTube channel, even if you don't necessarily watch the YouTube channel, you know, link, or watch the show on YouTube. Go in there and follow us, please. We're very, very, very close to getting to where we need to get our custom URL, and that's really the only thing that we care about right now, is just getting our custom URL out there, so we can make it so it's not this long fucking weird ass link and whatnot. So aside from that, you also can catch all of us live on our own channels. Mine is at twitch.tv//S1N3N. You can catch Scruffy over at his channel. He will be live tomorrow playing Terraria, right?
Oh yeah. Yep. 1.4 will be live. We'll be live for a while.
You know when you're going live tomorrow?
We might go live around a little bit earlier, like 8 to 9. Expect me at latest 10 for sure.
Okay. So you can catch him over at twitch.tv/Agent Scruffy. And Bill, when are you streaming again? You streaming tonight after the show?
I'll be streaming tomorrow. We'll be finishing up the level 1 100% run of Dark Souls 3, and then moving on to Bloodborne level 1 run.
Okay. And you can catch him at Twitch.com/Billy_the_squid, SKWID. And I will be live right after this with some DBD as well. So so we do have some questions that came in that we're going to ask. I'm going to kind of go in order that I've got them seen up here. So one of the questions came in from Sunsprite Bay, and she asked, how are the devs keeping up with DBD? Do they still keep up with updates and bug fixes? So yes, they do a good job of trying to fix stuff and answer the community. They're definitely good about adding new content. They're constantly adding new things to the game. Bugs are a thing that like the community kind of knows exist, and we joke around about it. In fact, I had one yesterday where the survivor got downed on a hook hanging up in the sky. Could not get off, literally was just floating there in the sky. I tried everything in my power to get her off the hook or out of this weird state, but she was literally like stuck in full safe state, just floating right there. And I could down her, still floating. I tried hooking somebody on there and tried to let them get that off, still fucking didn't matter.
So like stuck in like a falling state.
Yep. So it sucks when that happens. And there's definitely sometimes I've even said it where I'm like, I should not have hit that person. Like, so there are some definitely server issues, but for the most part, it's pretty okay. Yeah. So bugs are,
content's always good, but whenever content comes before game health, that's when I tend to have issues, which is an issue with Siege. And while we're taking a hiatus from Siege, so it's good to hear that the DBD guys seem to have a decent balance with that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. So the other question that was asked was thoughts on Valorant. So I'm gonna actually direct you, Brad. So Brad B0307 asked our thoughts on Valorant. I'm actually not gonna jump into that on the at the end of it. Let's just say we all have kind of differing opinions for most part. I'm against the game. I don't like the game. Scruffy
in between.
Scruffy's kind of in between. Bill, thinks it looks cool, refuses to play it for the same reason that we all are refusing to play it, which is their bullshit root system.
I literally just found it on my system today. The freaking Riot Vanguard.
Yeah,
on my system today. I had to get rid of that.
Yep. I would say go back and listen to about the beginning to middle of last episode and the episode before that. We talk a lot about Valorant. But we are not. I am not a fan of it at all.
It's a big topic to get into.
Yep. And then another question was from Drakith21. So are survivors, when you say it's on trust, do they team up? Do they team you up with people of equal level or skill, like when you join a random game? So yes, they have their own matchmaking system to where they try to make it so it's an even playing field. Obviously, there's an ELO and a ranking system, but it's difficult to do because, again, there's two forms of rank. There's the survivor and killer rank, and then there's your actual like player rank for that. So it's kind of a hodgepodge of stuff like that, for sure. I think that wraps it up. Am I missing anything?
We had one meme question that I don't know if anybody's watched,
really
but thoughts on Beastars.
What the hell is Beastars?
What is that?
Okay, there's your answer, Bunny.
Well, okay. I don't know. It's
an anime on Netflix that's about anthropomorphic animals.
I remember the books that were like animal or whatever.
Porn.
No.
It's furry porn. That's what it is.
No, it's not furry porn. It's like what was that one Disney movie with the animals?
Zootopia?
We're talking about
It's
every
like
Disney movie ever. What kind of description is that?
It's like Zootopia, but anime. And
the person that asked the question says it's furry porn. Bro, are you a Beastars person? Do you like Beastars?
No, I am not.
Chat, I think we're finding out very quickly that apparently whatever this is apparently pretty weird, and Billy's into it. Bill, are you on Twitch's safety and council or whatever else? Like, is that what you're on? Okay. And Scruff's over there talking to the ceiling, so that's cool. Yeah, he's,
Furry weebs.
yeah, okay.
Okay.
All right. So like somehow our shows always seem to find this rabbit hole that we end up going down to, and maybe
Oh,
you
don't
can
mention rabbits. Please
yeah,
don't mention the rabbits.
maybe you can find
Don't mention
rabbit
BEO or the show will go on for another hour.
rabbit holes in fucking B-Star or whatever else. Like, okay, guys, we're gonna end it there. It's been an amazing show. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. I hope you have an awesome weekend. And again, please go to the podcast link on YouTube. Check us out there. Check all of us out on our Twitter and Twitch handles, and we will see you guys in 2 weeks. See ya.
Peace.